That's right, you stupid infidel marks. We're back for another edition of the Friday Locker Room. Bin Hameen is MIA. I haven't heard from him. He could still be sleeping. He could be on a lost island somewhere. He could himself be in the Middle East taking over the world. Who knows? But we'll come to find out here on another edition of the Friday Locker Room. I, of course, am your host, MSG, a.k.a. Liv Morgan Shoulder. And I'm here today with Pierce Alston, the greatest podcast of all time, a.k.a. Imposter Bin.
I am AI Bin, mate. Yalla.
Yalla, infidels.
Yalla, infidels. Rise and play, cunts.
Of course,
we're in complete control now. Yeah, fuck yeah!
We're in complete control now.
No bread, no water, just meat. That's what's going to happen tonight.
That's what's going to happen, guys. So we're back for another edition of the Friday Locker Room with all your headlines. If Bin Hameen wakes up in time, he knows how to jump in. It's his platform. But Pierce Alston, how you doing today, buddy?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, bro. I'm doing pretty good. I was just kicking back, chilling, and got the last minute call up to jump in the main event here. And as always, man, I was sitting on the sidelines. I was ready. I was raring to go. I had my mouth guard in. My boots were on. I was all taped up. I was ready to go. And you messaged me instead, and here I am.
Well, I'm glad you jumped in here. I'm glad you're available today to go over some of the headlines here on today's edition of the Friday Locker Room. Anything you want to get off your chest? Something I like to ask Bennett before we get into the headlines. Do you have anything that's achy breaking in your heart that you wanted to,
Anything
go
achy
over?
breaking in my heart? Not really, man. But I'm sure as we get into the conversation, bro, as always, when we talk, man, that shit just comes out, and it's like a therapy session every time we get together. So, in a good way, I suppose, but for one of us anyway. But no, man, I'm down for whatever. Let's get into it and let's rock and roll, baby.
All right. Well, I did just get a message from our fearless leader. He says he just woke up and he'll be set up in about 5 minutes. So he'll be jumping in here. So let's start with the first story I've got here. And that's Tony Khan comments on recent WBD split and the possible effect on AEW. So Warner Brothers Discovery announced earlier this month that it will soon split into two separate companies known as a global network and streaming studios. WBD CEO David Zaslav will continue to lead the streaming studios as the CEO, while WBD CFO Gunnar Weidenfels will become the CEO of Global Networks. Here's what Tony Khan had to say. He says, I know that AEW, for both sides of where Warner Brothers is going, we have great relation. Wait, I should probably read this in Tony's voice. I know that AEW, for both sides of where Warner Brothers is going, we have a great relationship with everybody at the top. We're a big part of TBS and TNT, the crown jewels of the Global Network side. And we're also huge now, huge part of the streaming studios, with AEW streaming every week. It's exciting. AEW's current deal with Warner Brothers is expected to run through 2028. Throughout the recent interview, Khan projected optimism for his company's future and stated that they've had a strong financial year thus far. Next up, the promotion, of course, will debut in a new country with AEW Grand Slam Mexico. That was last night. Set to take place at Arena Mexico is where it was at. What are your thoughts on the split? Do you foresee AEW having a positive future here with the company splitting up into two separate entities?
I mean, well, it just depends on who the people are that are going to be leading the two separate entities and if they like AEW or not. That's what it really comes down to. They've already said they've got the two heads of the each two separate companies, right? So they've already established that. So I don't see AEW going anywhere in the near future, but it just depends on what their viewership is like and what they're, money-wise bringing to the table. Because let's be honest, I mean, these guys, majority of them, I'm sure, aren't exactly wrestling fans, to be a top-line executive like that. So, I think they're going to be looking at dollars and cents.
No, I agree. I find it interesting that all these companies are continuing to split off or merge, and it seems to be happening every year, especially with WBD, right? First they were by themselves, then they merged with Discovery. Now they're splitting up the company again. It really feels like Warner Brothers is like, I don't know, they're succumbing to financial ambiguity. They're not being able to necessarily create a lot of revenue, and they're trying to shift revenue from one side of the company to another or something like that. maybe make it look like they're not losing as much money by splitting up the companies.
Either that, or it also could just be like a way for him to make more money as well. So it's like one company pays the other company for one thing, and the other company, you know what I mean, like a mutual thing. So like maybe it's a way for them to insource a lot of stuff that they currently outsource. I don't know, man. Like you're in more of that sort of scene than I am, like with what you do, bro. Like I suppose you're more connected in that field than what I would be. Like what are your main thoughts there? Like do you think it's mainly like it could be a power play? Do you think like a split board of directors believe that the company should be going in one way and the other board members think it should be going this way, and that could be a split? That's why they thought, fuck it, okay, we'll just split off.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I think that assumption would probably be correct. I also think that if they're splitting it into separate entities, it's because they're maybe potentially trying to focus on specific content, right? I mean, like with the streaming side and the streaming studios, that sounds like it's going to be more of like HBO Max and Warner Brothers, motion pictures and whatnot. And the other one's going to be like global networks, which I would assume to be like things that they own or entities that they own or partnerships that they establish with other companies. Like I don't know if it's a rumor or it's confirmed. I read that I believe there's a deal in place between like Warner Brothers, Disney. I don't know if it's NBC or CBS, where they're going to have one streaming service together to like put together sports and whatnot. So I don't know if it's just a split for that. Or if it's just the fact that, like I mentioned, one side of the company is making a lot of revenue, or they're making a lot of loss. I guess they're losing a lot of money. So to try and appropriate which funds is better, or which side, I guess what am I speaking? I'm talking on my ass here right now. But to try and appropriate funds to one side to make it look like the company is profitable, while shifting revenue loss to another side of the company. That's ultimately what I would think would be happening. But I don't know. I guess it remains to be seen. Man. Did you watch, while we're waiting for Bin Hameen, did you watch any wrestling this week? Monday Night Raw, AEW, Impact, anything like that?
I watched Raw, kind of. Okay. Yeah, I watched Raw. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I watched wrestling like, yeah, okay. Like for me to have 3 hours of uninterrupted television, like with 3 children, bro, I mean, I watch it in stages, but yes, I have watched Raw.
Okay.
Yeah. What like that? I've only watched Raw. No, I watched Raw and I watched NXT.
Oh, okay.
So I've got to watch those two. AEW I don't watch because I think that's just fucking shit.
Okay. All right. Well, what are your thoughts? Did you have any thoughts this week on Monday Night Raw?
Thoughts on Monday Night Raw?
And did you enjoy it? Was there anything you took away from it where you were like, yeah, this is a great show. All right.
Not really, eh? Like, I don't think that was anything that really stood out to me overly that much. I don't know. What happened on Raw? Have you got anything like a rundown or anything like you can remind me? Because to me, it's like I watched it, but I can't remember anything that really stood out.
Well, this week on Monday Night Raw, let's see here. We had the return of Goldberg.
Right? Oh, yeah. No, I saw that. That was really shit. And like Walter just basically stood there and fucking looked at him and smiled and be like, "Are you fucking serious, cunt?" Like that doesn't look like Walter would just stood there. He's like, "Is this fucking old man serious, bro? Like really? Like you're going to fucking yeah that pissed me the fuck off. Like, why are you bringing Goldberg in to fucking wrestle like Gunther?" Like,
yeah, he looked like he was blown up by the time he got to the ring, and all he had to do was walk down there. He didn't run down or anything, right? Because he was like, Goldberg was, there's a lot of glare coming off of that dome of yours, squirrel nuts. You know what I mean? Like, he had a lot of beads of sweat. He looked like he was already blown up.
I mean, look, it must be a money make. Like, he must be a huge money maker every time he comes in, because like, think about it. Who have they buried with this fucking like Oldberg cunt, right? Like
Bray Wyatt was buried at the time.
Bray Wyatt's been buried by him.
Kevin Owens, essentially, because they had to take the title off of him to do that match.
Yeah, and he pretty much nearly fucking killed the Undertaker. Like literally, like made him a dead man. Literally, almost made him a dead man. Like, dude, this guy's a freaking liability. Why, like, why put someone who is probably one of the guy who is at the top of his game, who does not need to go up against him at all? Why? Like they must be pulling in massive amounts of cash for him to be able to even contemplate doing this. And maybe Gunther's just sitting there smiling, thinking about the payday, thinking this is going to be worth so much money. Or he's smiling, going, I can't believe they're making me fucking fight this old fuck.
So I guess it's safe to say you're not excited for Gunther versus Goldberg.
Not really, man. I haven't been excited for Goldberg since 1999.
Well, other things that happened here on Monday Night Raw. We had Bayley address Becky Lynch. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, now I'm starting to remember stuff, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm smoking too much weed, bro. Dude, it's starting to come back. Yeah. Bayley's
what did you think? What's your thoughts recently on Becky Lynch's, I guess, performances? I feel like she's taken some acting classes or something, and she's going to be in the brand new movie with Brad Pitt, F1. It seems like her promos are starting to come along a little bit better.
I think her promo games are on fire. Okay. I feel like her in-ring stuff, and I kind of felt this with Bayley as well lately, and I feel like I'll probably get crucified for saying this, but I felt like they're very taking it easy a little bit, like phoning in a little bit. And to be honest, they've been there for over 10 years, man. So fuck, you know what I mean? Like they've got like 10 years worth of bumps and pains and shit like that I could not even imagine what their bodies are going through. So, but to me, I don't know. Like it just feels like some of their matches are pretty phoned in.
All right. We're still waiting for Ben Ami, so I'll go ahead and I'll jump into the next story here.
Let's go, baby.
Hogan and Bischoff's Real American Freestyle announces details of the inaugural event. Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff's Real American Freestyle Wrestling is set to host its inaugural event 2 months from now on August 30th at the Wolstein Center in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's see if we can get Rick Vickery down there. According to a press release, the proceeds will be pledged to Cleveland State University, and fans can already purchase their tickets for the event via the Real American Freestyle website and Ticketmaster. Let's see here. They've already made the match card public for their first match. According to the press release, the match card will include the following clashes: Real Woods versus Darian Caldwell, Austin Gomez versus Lance Palmer, Sarah Hildenbrandt versus Zeltsin Hernandez Guerrera, and Kenny Blades versus Alejandro Rivera. Interestingly, one wrestler, Aaron Brooks, will have his opponent announced within the coming weeks. RAF says the events will consist of 9-minute matches with high-impact moves designed to draw a modern audience. RAF will also feature 8 weight classes with 8 matches for men and 4 for women. Participants will also have the opportunity to win a championship purse and bonuses in adherence to NCAA regulations. So it sounds like they're going to stay under the NCAA guidelines. Looks like they have a partnership with USA Wrestling, the NIL, and NCAA, which means the athletes compete in the RFA regardless of their NCAA status, which the promotion believes will provide opportunities for wrestlers to start their careers. Pierce, are you interested in this Real American farty wrestling?
Nah, it looks
freestyle.
No, it looks ridiculous. And the thing is, like, why the fuck is Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan the face of this thing? Like that's who they could get to be the thing of freestyle wrestling is like Hogan and Bischoff. Like, nothing against them, like, but they're not really known as amateur wrestlers, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they couldn't get someone like Kurt Angle. I don't know. This thing seems a bit, I don't know. I think they would have been better off doing like Hogan Bischoff freak off parties. Hey, let's go back to the 1990s, brother.
So, I mean, I think it's interesting for the fact that it does provide opportunities for real wrestlers, collegiate wrestlers and stuff like that. An opportunity to build brand recognition while they're in college, as well as potentially start some sort of professional wrestling, or I guess, freestyle wrestling. I guess we're going to have to differentiate here after their college graduation. But I kind of agree with you in the sense that I'm not necessarily interested in watching it. I'll be surprised to see if it, doesn't end up on a television channel somewhere, because I feel like TV is going to be vital to this company, to try to get eyeballs on it. But I mean, either way, it as you've started to mention there, it is Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff. So it's another Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff partnership, which we have seen over the years. Other than the NWO, which he stole from Japan, it hasn't really worked out with things they've had their hands in the cookie jar with.
Yeah, how'd they go with Impact?
Yeah, exactly. And Joseph brings up a good point. Hogan, Bischoff, they're going to get paid regardless, right? So they're still going to make their money.
Of course, man. Of course, they're no suckers, bro. They know how to make that cheddar, bro. But I don't know, still kind of wild that they're the faces of freestyle wrestling, man. Like, that just spins me out, bro. Like I said, I'd rather see them do freak offs and shit. Like, imagine if Hulk Hogan started an OnlyFans, bro.
Oh my God, I don't want to see that, brother.
It's like, imagine if Hulk Hogan got an OnlyFans. That shit would fucking be hilarious.
What?
Oh yeah, you know what you walked into, pal.
That works for me, brother.
Let's have a freak off.
Yes, y'all infidels. What's up? Rise and shine. Take your nice gummies with CBN and sleep in. And have a nightmare of Hacker Hameen, the Thunder from Down Under, and Matty, too bad, here on the Friday Locker Room. Good morning, guys. Thanks for kicking it off.
Hey,
Jesus.
man.
15-hour weekday got me. I'm not going to lie.
Wait for 15 hours?
No, I worked for 15 hours yesterday. I have an hour commute each way, and I did Notorious Open to close yesterday. So,
Shit,
man. To roll over. Oh, what time is it? Yeah, took a new sleep gummy from Nice, New York, NYCE, and man, it worked well. Didn't want to get up out of bed this morning. So thank you guys for piloting the first run here, the first bombing run, and we're gonna shoot some bunker busters and see if we can't blow up somebody's nuclear arsenal.
I'm just trying to, make sure my shoulder feels well today. It's not feeling the best, just like Liv Morgan's.
You got some arthritis going on, Matty? Or you're popping out or what?
No, I think I heard it a little bit yesterday bowling. I was bowling last night, and I think I went a little too hard because I was getting frustrated.
His balls are too big, Deuce. That's why I hurt his shoulder. He's got big balls.
Got big
balls. Hit yourself bowling. I was getting slammed by a friggin' 160 kilo guy.
Wow, yeah, now we're talking. Yeah, tell me more about getting slammed by 160 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, Ben. We were just talking about Real American Freestyle Wrestling. They just announced their first card and a bunch of different people. And I was just asking Pierce his thoughts on, I guess, this taking place, if he's interested or not. And some of the, people they signed with UFC contender Ben Askren, Kennedy Blades, Zahid Valencia, Sarah.
Maybe Ben Askren's on his deathbed, isn't he?
I guess
he is. Yeah, his wife said that he had pneumonia and he was fucking possibly on his way out. So that should be an easy win. Whoever gets Ben Askren in round one.
Has he woken up yet from that knockout from the UFC?
From the 2-second run in and flying knee to the fucking face.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but Ben.
No, you're good.
What other dead guys can we get?
Let's put Tito Ortiz in there.
All right, throw his body in there, and a guy runs a half Nelson on him, pins him easy. Ben Askren beaten easily. I think he's dead.
Well, Ben Hameen, it is your show. Is there anything you wanted to specifically talk about before I jump back into more headlines? There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. I got conspiracy horseman stuff today. I've got wrestling headlines, but is there something particular that's been on your mind?
Oh, not really, man. I mean, I saw Vince trying to buy bare knuckles, and
really?
I like it. I like a bare knuckle. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's just the wrestling world, it's almost tough to stomach with all the conspiracy horseman stuff going on at the same time, where you have to be, putting over phony fucking wrestling shows while everything goes to shit on the planet. But the Logan Paul stuff, I think nobody benefited from World War III more than Logan Paul getting his shit swept under the rope, under the rug, I should say, bottom rope. That's a weird thing that I think is you might not see Logan Paul back on WWE TV, because that could be a big liability.
Fuck that piece of shit.
So what happened? So what happened with LP?
So essentially what happened is there's a YouTube journalist by the name of CoffeeZilla who exposes people who do tons of crypto scams and stuff like that. And he exposed Logan Paul last year for his crypto zoo scam thing. And then Logan Paul filed a defamation lawsuit against him. And part of this lawsuit then became, they went to discovery, if you will, it sounds like. And in it, CoffeeZilla exposed the fact that the FBI is now investigating Logan Paul.
No shit.
Well, one step farther than that, the guy that worked for Logan Paul, Logan Paul in those early crypto days and whatnot, pretty much made a complete file and dossier of the entire outline of the crypto scams and who knows what else, and delivered it to the FBI. Like, here's all the evidence you need to show SEC violations and da-da-da. So they'll probably actually make him world champion if Vince comes.
He Johnny aced him.
Yeah, dude. So that should be. Yeah, absolutely. Johnny aced him, and it'll be interesting because that's the last thing that they want is that type of PR when they're probably doing the same SEC scams,
right?
And this just goes back to even what Andrew Tate said, and I'm not here to stump for egomaniac sex traffickers, but when people are stooging on each other, the antennas are up. And Andrew Tate said that fucking he's a complete CIA op, Logan Paul and his brother. And that makes complete sense on their strange rise to fame, power, and money, Now, that being said, being a piece of shit or not, guy's good in the ring. I don't know. He has delivered. But
he can do a great spring moonsault to the outside.
Well, I'm not doing it, so somebody's got to.
That BKFC shit, right? Like I think it was probably 2 years ago, I was actually going to interview the fucking guy that was the owner of that shit, right? And we had a time locked in. He turned up to do the interview, and he was literally sitting in the fucking lobby of a fucking hotel on his fucking phone like that, going, "Yeah, I'm good to go." Like it's middle of a loud cafe. I'm like, "Are you fucking serious, bro?" Like, he's like, "Oh, I can do it later," and then just no showed me.
Well, that's right. He put over McMahon as like serious and whatnot. I just gotta believe that the offer was probably decent from McMahon, and like, what the fuck is bare knuckle fighting Fight Club really gonna do without a major promotion and someone with all those network connections behind them? I think not cutting McMahon in because he obviously wanted creative control is a huge mistake. Bare knuckle Fight Club probably shouldn't even be a thing. That's like a sport that's been developed because of the downfall of society that we're allowing that.
Started with bum fights back in the day, right?
I love that shit. But McGregor owns a piece of BKFC.
Oh, well, he's a fucking, moral guy, so I'm sure everything will work out well.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, he's at least like put some money into this thing as well. So if McMahon got behind it, though, I reckon BKFC could be like,
And who does fucking Conor McGregor imitate when he walks to the ring?
Fucking Vinnie Mac, baby. You know what I mean?
So why wouldn't you bring him on then? You know what I mean? If that's his boy and you have a way to do that, I think Bare Knuckle Fight Club is going to look back and go, fuck, we fucking missed the train, bro, because with conservative stuff, even though Trump's a mega fight fan, there always seems to be a blowback. Well, maybe it's more liberals when they're in office. Maybe I'm wrong on this. Of like, the brutality of sports. You know, they talk about concussion protocols and things that are valid, but bare knuckle fights the opposite of that. You ever seen a guy who bare knuckle fought before? There's actually a dude who comes into the shop who used to fight bare knuckles and Tough Man. His hands are so fucking gnarly and fucked up, bro. Like his knuckles are destroyed. His fingers can't clench. His hands all fucked up.
Yeah,
And
man.
again, here we are with power slap, which should just be called "give me a concussion." You know what I mean? And I think there's going to be a pendulum shift, the swing back to try and get rid of some of these. All right, we took it too far, you know, in the fall of Rome with some of these sports, and that they won't last, they won't draw money, and it's going to be different, you know. So they should have sold out and brought McMahon, and I think that's a huge business mistake on their part, even though they probably went, do we really want to partner with a guy who's shitting on people's heads who has 1988? You know, but
but you know what the thing is, like, I feel that it's just a level of what people find acceptance of violence. Like, remember when the UFC started, right? And everyone was going, this is barbaric, this is human cockfighting, this is, you know, blah, 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 blah. Now, when BKFC sort of started being on the rise a couple of years ago, people were saying that the funny thing about it was some of the diehard MMA fanatics were saying the same shit about BKFC. Well, what people were saying about MMA in the early days as well.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I feel like it just depends. Like it's for fans that have a certain level of can take that brutality and watch it, like that power slap stuff.
Yeah, well, let me put it to you this way: how long until that open? I mean, that opened Pandora's box. How long till Squid Games, the reality? Then,
Oh my gosh,
how far are you going to push it,
bro? I interviewed a couple of the power slap guys, and like I was just like, how can you stand there and have another grown man slap you in the fucking face and you not like throw it like proper hands? Like,
yeah.
Okay, you know what I mean? But like the thing into it is, bro, like that power slap shit, man, fucking Dana White's invested some big cash into it, bro.
Well, he already beat his wife in power slap, so she's got to.
Yeah, bro. Fuck, beat the shit out of her, man. Like,
what's up, guys? Welcome to the chat room here. Actually, Yosef posted what was going to be my first controversial story, so let's cue this up here. Tyler Perry, Ben, has been accused of sexual assault in actor's $260 million lawsuit.
Get me Medea.
Derek Dixon has filed a lawsuit in Los Angeles accusing Perry of using his influence in the entertainment industry to create a coercive, sexually exploitive dynamic while he was acting on The Oval and Ruthless. He alleges Perry promised him a successful acting career, but then subjected him to escalating sexual harassment, assault and battery, and professional retaliation when he didn't reciprocate Perry's unwanted advances.
fucking Jungle Boy, man. What an asshole.
Apparently, Perry offered Dixon a role on the show Ruthless, then later in The Oval, but the lawsuit said Mr. Perry made it clear to Dixon that if Dixon ignored Perry or failed to engage with the sexual innuendos, Dixon's character would die in the next season. The case claims Perry always held this over Mr. Dixon's head, implying that his character Dell would survive if Dixon kept Perry happy. Lawsuit cites several instances where Perry allegedly sexually assaulted Dixon. The actor accused Perry of interrogating him over his sexual interest in a trailer on the set of The Oval before pinning him to a wall and fondling him. Dixon said he refused the advances and left the trailer. Thoughts on Tyler Perry now? Been one of the biggest guys in Atlanta metropolitan area, with his huge, movie studio and all the movies he's cranking out. And oh Lord, with Medea. Thoughts on that?
Tyler Perry to NXT confirmed, I guess is what it comes down to.
Coochie
Shocker. A gay man in Hollywood who fucking isn't very talented, who got everything handed to him. I wonder what kind of club and what he's doing to get those types of privileges to go from nobody to getting multi-million, billion-dollar fucking deals that will effeminize the black culture and promote trans, topics in all of his movies, but do it tongue in cheek, so it's funny, like Big Mama's House, and it's all part of the greater psyop, right? And here this guy is obviously played the game plenty of times and had it done to him, I'm sure, to get those type of deals. And now he thinks they're empowered to pay it forward and do quid pro quo, and I'll kill off your stupid character in my stupid fucking series. And everybody wants to be famous so bad that they'll let you do some slap and tickle until you suck dicks, and then now I get to be in the next season. Oh, what a fucking joy. So this is that empowered deviant class, and they didn't stay small, and they fucking doubled, tripled down and thought they weren't gonna be named. And here he is, and he'll be right alongside, I'm sure, in Diddy depositions and every other goddamn thing. There is no area of entertainment that this does not go on at all anymore, you know what I mean, or didn't, and ruined the foundation of what it was. Doesn't matter, from modeling to wrestling to hip hop to the Taylor Swift being a MK Ultra fucking psyop for the NFL. It goes on, and that's to Nickelodeon kids to Disney kids. Bring up the next Britney Spears video next week. It just, as the entire entertainment world is a giant piece of shit, really. And it's been put up on a pedestal since the 1940s in silver screen when this shit was going on, where old fucking white studio heads were banging Marilyn Monroe 2 times a day, but we put them at that time on the covers of magazines, these models and women or men even, and acted like they were up here, and none of that was going on. But now in the information age, with everything exposed, it's really taken away celebrity and humanized everyone to tear them down for their indiscretions. And if it's just for somebody being a smart ass or something, that's one thing. But if you're doing rape, quid pro quo rapes, it's time to fucking go to the tree, throw the rope over the top, and sling it around their neck, and kick the fucking box out from under them. Because it ain't going to change. Nothing will change until there's an extreme solution for these extreme offenses.
And I think, like, you look at, as you said, the entertainment industry in all areas of it, it has these people in it and these vultures in it. And you look at the people that want to get in the entertainment industry, and a lot of them no hopers or whatever, and these people that will do anything that would give, would step over their own grandmother and their own mother to get a taste of success. And there's people that hold that power and can give it to them. Goes, okay, no worries. You want to be in this movie? Eat my ass a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's all it takes. And it's like, oh, you want to be in the movie too? You lick this nut.
Does it come down to body cams and constant recording so you can rewind life in real time down the road for any indiscretion? I see that's where it possibly could go in a very dystopian type of way, because secret conversations was what allows these people to operate continually the way they do in a power structure. So the only way you can actually become famous and get that brass ring, this fake thing, like you said, step over your mom and grandma, is to do as thou wilt and what they say you'll do. So you'll be part of the club after you've been lubed up and done away with, to be like, oh, now your talent's enough to put you in this, as opposed to, yeah, you're the right person for the job. You went to Juilliard, you're a great actor, and da-da-da, we want you. Chances are, if you fucking let me shove a G.I. Joe up your ass, there's a better chance you're going to get in the fucking movie, So why not hold those people accountable whenever they do that kind of shit and go, you just said what to me? Well, here's how it's really going to go. You're going to pay me double what you were going to pay. Otherwise, I'll ruin your career and you'll be out of this fucking biz forever. There's no fear of that in their code. So how do you, as someone who wants to pursue a craft in entertainment and has to get to that hurdle of sexual harassment, and will you run and tell, and or are you going to be in the fucking closet queers club? Dude, I say run and tell is the new like norm. And if you're trying to pull any of that shit, if there's even a whiff of that in any conversation, that can come back to ruin your entire empire. That's the fear that they need. And the only way to do that is kind of constant surveillance to roll back that beautiful bean footage and see you getting sexually assaulted.
Did you ever hear did you ever hear the conspiracy about Chris Cornell's death?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that, and like that shit, and how close he was, and then like Chester Bennington stepping in and being like, "I'm this," and then he went out
crawling in my skin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole thing. Like, we'll do a quick breakdown. So, for those who don't know about Chester Bennington, who allegedly suicided himself, and even afterwards, his wife said something doesn't smell right with this on Twitter, and that got deleted within 24 hours. Chester Bennington is allegedly the illegitimate son of
Podesta,
John Podesta from the Clintons, who has all types of warped fucking artwork and shit throughout his house, and is definitely on the Epstein Island list. And then you put the pictures of Podesta and him next to each other. Chester Bennington, fucking identical. There's no way he's not the father. Linkin Park, the band name itself, is named for an MK Ultra facility in Canada that was exposed for doing mind control ops. His whole entire college, your mom goes to college, I believe at NYU, was paid for via the Clinton Foundation. Chester Bennington's been in the fucking program of MK Ultra since he was probably born, like fed into this. And to be honest with you, Linkin Park sucks shit through a straw. Their music sucks. Like, it's all this whiny emo pussy abused shit.
Middle school music for sure.
Yeah. And they never should have been famous to start with, but they are. And it's because they were put through this CIA program. And allegedly, Chris Cornell was the godfather of Chester Bennington's kids, and they had a black book of names of their own that they were going to go and expose all this shit. And just so happens both those guys were so depressed that they suicided themselves. Two top stars in the music business who made millions upon millions of dollars. They just couldn't hang anymore. And everyone, let's light a candle and all this shit. Nope, they're murdering their own. They're absolutely murdering their own, and no one wants to follow back up and ask John Podesta, or I'm sure there's even still stuff with the DNA of that kid on there, and why aren't we telling the real story? Why is John Podesta even walking free when there's alleged rumors of him and his brother throwing kids in vans and all this type of shit, and just the strangest artwork on the wall with Serbian kids dead in fields, like painted, or these ones that are in the bottom of a pool. And then I've seen pictures of what is supposed to be the alleged pool of this sex trafficking mansion where that was emptied, where they would put the kids in there with no ladder to kind of keep them in there and half naked. Like, just the sickest fucking Hollywood script stuff that you could imagine. But it's not, this ain't a movie, dog. This is the reality of it is, and this motherfucker still walks free today, bro. You know what I mean? So none of that, in my opinion, is speculation. I mean, to put the pictures side by side. So if you don't know about the Chester Bennington, and they're willing to kill anybody like that crossed them for a while. I don't know if we're at that same level now. I imagine if an Epstein list was about to really be released, you'd see more and more of that. We see politicians and news people turn on each other daily. You know, yesterday, Tucker Carlson with fucking, what's his name, fuck face, in the Senate going at each other that usually would hold the line of American solidarity. Like, they all were in on it, and now it's all collapsing, and all the fucking rats are jumping off the fucking ship, and it's every fucking scumbag for themselves.
Get me, hate bot.
Ding dong.
Yeah, shout out. Hey, bot, shout out the whole chat this morning. Sorry I'm a little late. Joseph, I'm glad you enjoyed Master Shoot Theater before the complete destruction of the Middle East. It was a fun day this week. Master Shoot was a lot of fun. I felt good afterwards. I needed that distraction, so I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Ted Cruz, yeah, fuck Ted Cruz, that creepy motherfucker too, bro. Like, if there's ever a no pussy getting motherfucker that's done some shady shit on the side, it's Ted fucking Cruz.
Well, what I've learned from this conversation is I'm going to have to let somebody touch my balls if I want to be famous.
That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, how bad do you want it? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Matt, you want to be on the greatest podcast in the world? Just come and tickle my taint lap with your tongue.
Yeah, man. It's
tickle the tongue.
like, and why if you are in charge of millions, billions of dollars in some of these cases. Why is it so important to you to fucking get with some stupid fucking actor and have him lick your asshole? Like that doesn't, it just doesn't compute to me of like, I'll put you in the script if you do this, you know? So
because they can, it's a power play, you know what I mean? Like to them, it's like they've got that power to fucking do it, you know what I mean? Like they can't be like, you know what I mean? They're probably like fucking like standing there like doing lines of cocaine, beating off in the corner, trying to get it hard to fucking 15 minutes anyway.
I
you know
guess,
what I mean?
but you and I aren't rich studio heads. We're made men. Do you ever think of like, I'm not saying this from cheating on your wife, but like think about what you got to lose. You got a great family, you got a fucking all that. And if you went out and fucked around and got caught, even on a local level, all that's gone for you, right? Like
100%.
everything's going to go to shit.
Yeah.
Why would you do that when you've got the fucking studio deal, the 5-picture deal, and then like, I've got it all locked. You know what I'll do? Let me risk it all with some actor who I don't know and don't trust and would fucking burn me in a second. Let me put that out there. You know, yeah. Anthony Bourdain was working with Chester Bennington. He was absolutely murdered. Oh, that was what I was going to say. There's a lot of Kate Spade. She was another one. And they were doing it with red handkerchiefs on the fucking doorknob. Like, I'm no fucking Inspector Clouseau, but if I got multiple deaths with red handkerchiefs, chances are there's somebody out there that's a serial killer. And even more chances are it's some CIA fucking spook that's killing these people and doesn't know enough to, or does know enough and is cocky that they're leaving their calling card. Like, dude, that's how emboldened and psychotic these people are.
So what,
they just need their neck snapped, bro. Really.
So there was a red, what, like handkerchief at each death scene?
Not every one of them, but there's been like 3 of those that have had it. Kate Spade,
right?
Anthony Bourdain, and there's another one. And you know, this is somebody sending fucking hitmen to off these people because they have the real insight. And where's Amanda Bynes? Like they've got some of these girls so crazy that even if they did say and start naming names, it wouldn't hold up in court because all I have to do is go show that footage of Britney dancing around with a Bowie knife for fucking 20 minutes high out of her mind. Like they want to keep them completely fucked up. Justin Bieber, all that. They would fucking kill all these people like that if they knew they were going to fucking flip, bro. And then they would just go, no, she was suffering from mental illness awareness, everyone. When the reality is they had these kids' nipples hooked up to a fucking car battery at age 3 to fucking split their personality to get them to do what the fuck they wanted to do, bro. So I say let them all burn at the end of the day, man. And I don't think there's enough like hard justice and swift justice to put fear into any of these fucking people who've been in power since 1960s. That got away with, well, we can't release the JFK files because it'd be too traumatizing. There's a couple people left alive. Yeah, good. They were hunting fucking Nazis when they were 90 years old after the fucking Nuremberg trials to fucking put them back in jail. I don't give a shit, bro. Like quick, swift justice. Line them right up after the Epstein fucking files are put out there and end them. Like, oh, guilty, right out the fucking door, right up the steps to the gallows, and down you go. Not one fucking cent paid on. Well, we gotta wait 2 years until we can do the death penalty. Nope, gone. That old school Western justice is the only thing that will take this back to the fucking halfway moral people of this earth.
Do you know how Gene Hackman died recently, him and his wife? Do you reckon he was involved in that shit?
Oh, you dude, you can't be in Hollywood and get to that level that they got without fucking being at all those parties in the 80s and Studio 54 and Gene Hackman Studio 54. All this weird queer shit has been going on, you know, Liza Minnelli era, and he's been around since then, right? You don't make it through Hollywood and go, I just didn't know. I did 115 films, but I never saw any of that. No, dude.
I never sucked a dick in my life. No, I just got here on my merit.
You'll suck one in your death, though. Come here. Yeah.
Because like his death was real fucking shady, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Like him and his wife like got gassed or some bullshit, and their fucking dog was dead.
The dog was eating them.
Yeah, the wife died first, is what
Yeah.
apparently what the rumor was, and then he had some sort of mental.
Advanced dementia and just
Yeah.
didn't feed himself, fell down, and might have fucking done that. But doesn't that seem like an easy story? Like, I'm not saying Gene Hackman was about to come out and tell all that, but
Hackman. Sorry.
there's
He was
just a
not
lot of
3 years old.
weirdness, you know what I mean, with all that shit.
Was he like 90 something years old?
Yeah.
He was up there. Next thing I wanted to ask you, Ben, since you jumped on here, I haven't listened to Master Shoot Theater yet, but your thoughts on the, well, I mean, at first we thought you weren't here because maybe you were in the Middle East, you know what I'm saying? Israel bombing Iran now. So for those who don't know, Iran apparently has been accelerating toward building a nuclear weapon. Talks aimed at curbing Iran's nuclear program were going nowhere, and therefore Israel felt the last resort was to start bombing them. So now Israel and Iran are bombing each other back and forth. Ben, is this leading to World War III?
Yeah, I mean, define what World War III is. You know what I mean? When we talked to Take Naps, Instagrammer, guy who's really in tune with up to the moment commentary on all things conspiracy, he was putting over this will be more of a cyber war and cyber attacks and infrastructure attacks. And then we have trains derailing with fucking highly toxic chemicals. Do we have boats and tugboats crashing into bridges and the lights going off? So ergo, we are in World War III already. It's not going to be the old D-Day beach invasion that people classify. Now the war is kicked off. Shock and awe. Like, we've been in World War III for 2 to 3 years. It's just that will we officially be declared to go into it, and America's going to come in like, Dad, and you kids settle down in the back seat there. Like, that's what people are conditioned to in their own life. So they think they want it like that. But the reality is these fucking ultimate dirtbag Satan worshiping Zionists fucking will possibly, I would say I'm at about 60 to 70% probability, do a false flag of a massive attack, whether that's a low grade nuclear weapon or something even more shock and awe, to draw us in a false flag into this war and blame it on Iran, China, and Russia all together. They'll get a triple out of it. They're not just going to put it on one. Yesterday Putin was talking about Iran. That was enough to go like, he did it. He sold for it. Now we can get them both, that Iran got the nuke and dropped it and had it detonated in America. And when we traced it back, we just happened to find Vladimir Iskalov's fucking passport in the debris. So it must have been Russian, from the beginning. Exact same play they ran 24 years ago, finding Muhammad Atta's passport within 48 hours of 9/11 debris to push us into a war, into a surveillance state. And what's the next surveillance state? Palantir. Palantir's working with fucking the IRS right now to make the biggest database that is AI run and will track your every expenditure and everything that is going on. So there will be no tax fraud in the future. This is the exact same playbook from 24 years ago. Iran is a nuclear bomb, is the fucking new weapons of mass destruction from Iraq. Right? It's the exact same shit. And if you can get people to fall for 5 fucking bullshit COVID vaccines, that was nothing more than a depopulation effort to have super cancers, strokes, change people's DNA, take them out with AFib, DFib, heart issues, you can convince them of this again. Like, we are in a complete psyop ourselves, and the 85% sheep are so controlled by them now. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a no kings fucking rally or take this next shot, or holy shit, they just fucking touched off a nuke in Miami and fucking, we got to go to war. We can't have this. You know what I mean? So that is what's coming. There is no doubt about it. It's right out of the fucking playbook. So why would they just stop it? You know what I mean? And then we'll be drawn into it based on the stupidity of Americans who didn't go, holy shit, do you think Israel might have done this to draw us in because the people didn't want it and we needed some type of trauma-based experience to do mind control over them? Yeah, they do. And that's absolutely what's coming, possibly by the end of this summer, I believe. There'll be another 9/11, if not bigger, scale attack on this country.
So, Pierce, apparently Australia has evacuated a small number of citizens from Israel and the New Zealand embassy. Around 1,500 Australians in Iran have registered for assistance, with another 1,200 Australians in Israel seeking to leave. What are your thoughts on, I guess, some of your Australian comrades being stuck in Israel?
Man, get home safe. You know what? Like, you know, why put yourself in the situation? But you know, you're there now. Just get out of there. But you know, Australian citizens though. But like, how long have they been over there for? You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. You know what I mean? Why were they over there as well? You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bit more skeptical, but regardless, you know, I hope if they're innocent people over there, I hope they get back here over. Well,
Innocent people, slaughter innocent people is what they do best. They use it for all the fuel for the machine for the bigger id of what they fucking really want to do. You know, like the biggest monkey wrench in all this is really the Saudis. The Saudis want to be done with this fucking bullshit, fucking Houthis and Hamas and whatever little proxy war where we're still acting like you're gonna fucking ride through the desert on a horse with a scimitar and behead the infidel. Like they want that as the fucking view of it, but really the Saudis want Las Vegas. Well, I would say, I mean, a lot of shootings happen in Las Vegas, so maybe they'll get exactly what they want. But you know, they want this new era in 2030 with billions invested. And maybe this is part of that. Maybe they want part of Iran to be their front lawn, and this is going to clean it off and clean it out and get the U.S. in there as a security force. It's all about the money, as GGP would say, follow the money. And when I do that, I look at who are the players in the area and who needs to be fucking, all right, let's get the scumbags out of here. And we'll buy up their property. That's how the Saudis are probably looking at Iran right now for fucking up their money deal. And all this may be bigger, just readjustment of the line so they can have their fucking Vegas how they want to, bro. It's not like you're not going to stop Jews and Muslims from going at it. Not in this century, not any century. This shit's been going on since 400 AD, I believe, is when the Crusades started. Like, but no, this year we'll get it figured out. This will be the year. Like it don't stop. And everyone thinks we're all so special and this doesn't repeat. They know it's on repeat and they know how to make money from it because they've been doing it for 1,000 years of war culture. And we'll see it again, regardless of what happens, unless the world absolutely does get destroyed. We'll see it again in our lifetime. I might be dead by then, but what was the 80s conflict? So that was, let's say, 35 years ago. Maybe when I'm 82, you'll see another big pop off like this again. And when you guys are retiring, you're younger men than me. It'll happen again. Jews versus Muslims. It's an easy fucking go-to, bro. It's same as any Hollywood reboot really at this point.
How come WWE, TNA, why do you think these wrestling companies stay away from that type of storyline if it's such a big conflict and we always do America versus Russia?
We got Jew versus German in the fucking Saturday night main event, but no one can call it out. Right. And is the Jew going to fucking beat the German? Which is what should happen. But if they want to keep the belt on Gunther, Germany's got to go over if it's a one-off on Iran. So it was stupid to put the belt on Gunther because this whole thing with Goldberg has nothing to do with one more match. Who wants to see any Goldberg match? Nobody, really.
Did I not say that? Did I not say the exact same thing at the start of the show?
So what is this? This is nothing more than one more payday, but it's really to open the door for his kid to get a WWE NXT contract. Okay, so why fuck around? Let's go with that as the storyline. You don't lay it out like that, but you just have Goldberg and his kid at a show, and maybe even Goldberg's kid was slightly disrespectful to Gunther. Gunther starts to walk away, turns back, and starts beating the fuck out of Goldberg's kid. Now we've got him established. Goldberg runs in as the dad, shoves Gunther off. Gunther laughs. Now you're next. Now we have a match. It's a blood feud. It doesn't need a title whatsoever because that just stopped Jey Uso cold in his tracks. And we have a father defending his son with undertones of a bullying, and they both could have their truths. Let the kid be smug. But it's not like Jewish people won't go up and poke the bear. They absolutely will. Let him poke the bear, have the Germans strike back in a very blitzkrieg kind of way, and then we're off to the fucking races. And you don't need to say anything about World War II. We know he's a German. We know he's Jewish. It's fucking written, right? And then the kid, and then Goldberg could beat Gunther, and there's no title, and people get that, forgive me, Ben Hameen payoff of PTSD that's still there from, shocker, genocide of a race that didn't go away. Like, it's still underneath there. That's how we play out history and pay off PTSD and make reference to what's going on now without ever having to say it. But Triple H is over there opening fucking Topps cards. He's going to fucking Washington, D.C. to meet with fucking Robert Kennedy Jr. about health and nutrition. And then the commercials are for Minute Maid sugar water and fucking processed Slim Jims on your show. The level of fucking ignorance and deafness in how they do their shit just for the quick money as opposed to the bigger picture of what we could do. And then how do you expect to write a German versus Jews storyline when you're not even at your own fucking show on the day of the show until right beforehand, because you're out here doing Meet the Press and going, nutrition's important for Oh, is it? They're hypocrites, liars, drug addicts, fucking covering up for sex offenders. And these are the people where we go, yeah, games in the house. It's complicated. It's complicated.
Chat room's a little hot today. You guys need to calm down in there. We're all here to have a good time and have conversations. Yeah. Y'all don't need to be backing on each other and throwing shade at one another. Calm down, guys.
Yeah. Like that's exactly what they want us to do, right? It's
right.
To be divisive and this is what I think, or my people are from this country and I have to toe the line. If you can't look at your own country and go, that motherfucker's a liar. I see right through what they're doing. Oh, remember when they did that in fucking 2001 and told us that lie to get us into a war where we killed millions and who made money? The Cheneys and the Bushes and the Obamas. Oh, I wonder if they're going to do it again this war. Like, there is no it used to be like that, but now this is the real thing. And if you're having a reaction to that, your mind is being controlled by psyops right now. And if you are having that reaction, you should go, holy fuck, why am I feeling this way? Wow, they got to me. Let me do the exact opposite of that. That trigger, that anger, that salty taste in that salty taste in your mouth should fucking be an alert to not double down, but to do a 180-degree turn from it, because we are just human animals. And they've been working on this shit since World War II, since the marketing age, since they brought Werner von Braun and the fucking rest of the German scientists over here. They were studying everything from eugenics to mind control. And what did we do? We turned that into TV marketing and commercials to that exact same practice on how to control people to go get them to buy shit, bro. That's what we used it for. And then we started using it for, I don't know, patsies, Unabombers, Oklahoma City bombers, fucking assassins of all types. This is the truth of the history of what's going on. So if you're having a visceral reaction to it right now, you need to pump the brakes and go, whoa, I'm down with HMG and I'm smarter than this.
Exactly. Now, Ben, I know it happened last Saturday. Did you, any of the shows this week talk about the Minnesota shootings at all?
No, because I didn't know enough about it, but here we are is with exactly what I'm talking about. Tim Waltz appointed, who knows, you know what I mean, somebody inside the program, and maybe Tim Waltz was told to do that. I don't know the ins and outs, and it'll be fucking kayfabe from us with a bunch of bullshit stories. And the guy shows up to these politicians' homes that if he's Tim Waltz's guy, then he's on the left. And he fucking smokes these people because the story is they started to lean right wing a little bit and wanted some just common sense policies. I don't think this guy what they voted what way? I'm gonna kill them. To me, that's okay, they're breaking with the party, send in the assassin. You know what I mean? Put fear in everybody else who decides they're gonna turn on us by any means whatsoever. This definitely feels like an FBI, CIA op to every degree, even to the fact that he's got papers on his front fucking seat of a cop car he stole that says no kings. Like, very, very strange, like the evidence they catch him with on that weekend that just lines up in a way that is so media ready. You know what I mean? It definitely isn't just the lone gunman, angry voter theory. There's, when you're that tied into the guy who was going to be possibly vice president, you're talking full on fucking, NSA, all that shit, bro.
Yeah, so for those who missed it on Saturday, there was I'm not going to, the guy who's been caught, but I'm not going to name his name just to give him publicity. The guy allegedly shot and wounded State Senator John Hoffman and his wife, and then he was accused of heading to Brooklyn Park where he allegedly fatally shot another Democratic lawmaker, Melissa Hortman, a member of the Minnesota House of Representatives, and her husband Mark at their home about 9 miles from the house. Authorities said the suspect posed as a police officer and also modified his vehicle, a Ford SUV, to look like a police car. He was a self-described security professional, was a political appointee on a state workforce development board. Records show that Hoffman was on the same 60-member board, but it's unclear whether the alleged shooter and Hoffman knew each other. And according to state records, the shooter was first appointed to the board in 2016 by then Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton, and reappointed, as you point out, in 2019 by Governor Tim Walz, a Democrat.
Does someone who's on a high-level board of directors seem like the person who would snap and go shoot? No, you would have somebody that's a blue-haired fucking women's studies major with 5 different pronouns that lost their mind. That's who it would be. Instead, this guy is in the system. I don't doubt that he's been a CIA op since the fucking time he got recruited in college for the last 20 years. And maybe it was one phone call where they go, the red rooster flies over the moon at midnight, and he fucking snaps, and he's been pre-programmed to go take these people out, bro. Like, that it just doesn't line up of who this guy is and the actions. That's all a surface story to me, like the way it plays out,
Well, that's all the conspiracy horseman news stuff I've got for today.
Yeah, man, it'll be. I think it's going to be a bad summer of terror, and I wouldn't doubt that they wait till right around September 11th to do the next one, because it's going to have the effects of the other one built right into it, and they'll get most bang for their buck. And what's his name? Who wrote "Behold the Pale Horse"? William Cooper, who was also murdered and had his life near assassination 2 times before that, and they drove him off a cliff. You go back and watch Bill Cooper's shoots in the late 80s, and he says, this is what the plan is. He had the inside knowledge. Israel is nothing more than a fucking state to bring about the New World Order, and to be that fly in the ointment of the Middle East, knowing that. And then they will do false flag attacks, amping up to massive nuclear attacks to the point that people drop to their knees and beg for no more war. And then those in charge, from Putin to Trump to fucking Netanyahu to the Rothschilds to the Soroses to the Bill Gates to the fucking Faucis and name them all, Clintons, will go, okay, yes, no more war. But the only way we could ever accomplish that is a one world government, a new world order. And yes, there will be a new world order. And you can go back, and George Bush fucking said it. George Bush 1, not George Bush fucking retard. Former head of the CIA and president and vice president, who was the puppet master behind fucking Ronald Reagan, where everyone loves Reagan. What was Reagan? Reagan was an actor. He was fucking put into California government. That's Nixon.
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry.
Reagan
was confused.
Yeah, they're similar. Well, actually, Nixon was 10 times the man Reagan was. And all that bullshit. But Reagan was, I'll have some more jelly beans. And I often think about how an outside force outside of this world would bring us all together. And that's part of it too, the alien invasion. That will bring us together. What do they want? 1,000 points of light. Go look up what 1,000 points of light means from fucking the George Bush promo in 1989, 1990, I believe.
Bro, do you know,
What's that?
I was going to say, do you know the last prime minister that Australia actually liked was in the 1980s, and he was famous because he held the Guinness World Record for being able to scull a schooner of beer the quickest.
That was the last man's man.
But you know what? And it was like, even like up until before he died, like they even had like they named a beer after him called Bob Hawke's Lager, and it was like the guy was an Australian icon, and he was the prime minister and everything. But it was like the guy who overtook him did great for the country, but everyone fucking hated him.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes that's the way it goes, but the reality is that sounds like some man's man that they couldn't control. And then I think about Australia during COVID times, and I go, was there a country that was supposed to be made of, rowdy fucking ex-criminals that aren't going to take your fucking shit? And they bent their will like that. So in a 25, 30-year time span, how long did it take to bend an entire nation's will from that's not a knife, this is a knife, which was one of my favorite things fucking last week with fucking Triple H and Sam Roberts, two fucking bald guys, one in their 40s and one in their 50s, opening fucking stupid top cards. And Triple H brought him a fucking fillet knife that Sam was scared to handle because it probably would cut his fucking finger off because he's a radio guy from the city who's never chopped wood, carry water. But Triple H tries to get in the fucking Crocodile Dundee. Now that's a knife line. Right over fucking Sam Roberts' bald head. Ooh, an Angel Garza with pink shimmer on it. He's excited about Triple H, the most uncool guy who wants to be 100%. Cool in the worst way, is making untimely 40-year-old fucking Crocodile Dundee references. Mwah, fucking perfect. Why we should not be doing this shit in front of people, bro. But that's more important than actually writing a decent Gunther storyline than actually understanding what a fucking main event is supposed to be, bro. So that made me, it was a perfect expose, and nobody really even pointed out, of Triple H, because the guy, no matter how jacked he is, how good of a worker he is, whatever, politicker, he is missing the cool part. And that goes to show, if you think you're going to get over with a 45-year-old fucking Crocodile Dundee reference that nobody picked up on whatsoever, if you think Lemmy and Motorhead are fucking cool, like, all that shit sucked. Oh, I'm going to be fucking Conan the Barbarian 50 years or 40 years later. Oh, I'm going to fucking be Terminator. Oh, remember when Terminator came out 28 years ago? Yeah, he's just like Terminator. Like, the guy could not miss anymore on what is in the now, what is cool, and fucking he's still at the fucking top of the ladder. Keep on going, bro. I can't wait to see what next arcane stupid reference you fucking try and put out there. You know what I mean? Like,
and I love how Triple H tries to come off like he's cool, like it's like, you enjoyed the show, pal. All part of the show, man.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Tosser.
Yeah, he'll bury everybody else and then go stooge the business.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Frank, Triple H isn't cool. How did he get the princess? Because he's in on the fucking, he knows where the bodies are buried. Dude, if you knew about half the stories of Steph and her indiscretions as well, they're not far off from Vince and the sexual deviancy. And
really?
Like, for her, like, yeah, dude.
I know the much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Slim Jim's brother.
You think Vince probably didn't serve her up and push her a certain way? You know what I mean? Yeah, dude. This is
as a father of a daughter, that just made my, like, hearing that just.
I'll tell you a story off when we go off camera real quick that will fucking turn you. Well, that'll turn you. That was told to me by higher ups about her and about Vince's reaction to something. And I don't want to put that out here for liable reasons, and fucking I'll tell you where it came from. But yeah, dude, like you see this from her, and she thinks she's Vince. And now I feel like she's having a weird Britney Spears level fucking of how she is. They gave her all these awards. She went to Boston College for Business. They paid for how many Webby Award of this week. Remember when she was ragging up? Remember Lady Balls was supposed to come out and that never hit the fucking shelves? And now what does she do? I got a podcast where I interview interesting people. Just so happens that every one of those people is a fucking stupid wrestler.
Yeah.
Get my husband. And then we do the same thing with Cody, trying to get our wives over. Like, if she was an A+ pro whose mom is in the fucking Senate and wants to interview interesting people, would Roman Reigns be on your fucking list when you have access to everybody? When you want to make yourself into a politician to get to there? No. I see a regression. It won't be long until she's in a bikini dancing around with a Bowie knife, fucking going, I'm Vince's daughter. Like, I see something not right there, you know?
Imagine if it turns out like that she's just full like cucked Triple H for years and shit, and then like he ends up being like the Will Smith in that, and he just has like,
Well,
we've been putting it over for 2 years with Ring No Ring.
Yeah, ring no ring. Exactly. She doesn't wear her wedding ring at all times.
And the other part of that too is Triple H was doing some possible one-on-one coaching with NXT talents while he was down there. There's plenty of rumors of that too. So if he's doing it, why wouldn't she run and go, hey, Austin Theory, I want to go over some notes with you.
just
You know?
sign this NDA right here. Thanks.
You got it, my guy. You got it. And isn't that the weird thing where these billionaires are now, so they can get their rocks off with sexual proclivity? But first, you got to sign this thing. So after I shit on your head, you can't come back and sue me. How about just the fact that you have sex like a normal person? You don't need to shit on anybody's head. Well, you know, they did that to me when I was 5, so that's what I'm into. Okay.
Hey man, if Stephanie McMahon said to me, "Hey, listen, sign this piece of paper and you can fuck me," I'd be like, all right, done. Let's go. Like, you know, I mean, I'd do it just for, like, you know, like, fuck the NDA. I'll tell people anyway, bro. I'll do a podcast straight after. I'll be like, ringing up.
I'm not saying adults can't enjoy all the. I'm not saying adults can't enjoy all the depraved sex they want to. They absolutely can, and sign whatever paperwork and agreements that they want, and that will become commonplace too in the next 10 years based on all these apps. That part of it will be, if we hook up, check this box and hit submit to say that you can't come back to sue me for rape or whatever the fuck afterwards. That absolutely will become commonplace in that. But that doesn't change the fact that, like I said, adults can do what they want, but the why of why they want to do what they want, let's review that. And if your father was fucking serving you up to Macho Man, and you know, or like Brooke Hogan's another fucking one, bro. Like, look at these people. Like, our family knows best. Oh, do you? Okay, I'll sit back and watch. And within 2 years, it all fucking comes crumbling down, bro. They want to project that they're the Brady Bunch. They want to project that they're this fucking perfect nuclear family. Family Matters. Meanwhile, the father on Family Matters is getting boned out by Diddy at a fucking party. It's all an illusion. And they have weird queer behaviors behind the scenes because they were abused and normalized it and brought it all in. And she's no different, to be honest.
And they just keep going through and recycling the same behaviors and stuff through, man. Like, I saw the Brooke Hogan post. I saw the Linda Hogan fucking meltdowns and shit like that. That stuff was like next level wild, bro. And
why are you doing that on camera? Let's just start there.
For attention, of course, bro. Like, it isn't it?
It is, but at the same time, if you're really broken, if so, like, I don't want any of this to happen to you, Pierce. Your wife leaves with the kids. One of your fucking kids cuts a promo that they hate you and they're never talking to you again. Is the first thing you're going to do is go on the Pierce Austin network and fucking cry in front of all of your fans? Or are you going to handle it off screen with a therapist or your buddies, or a fucking do a shoey with Bluey or whoever the fuck you got to do to drink a beer? Like, you know, like that. That's what a normal person does. You don't go camera on, like that's fucked up in so many ways. Of like, why would you even get to that thought process to make that move?
Because I feel like I don't know, man, like exposing your own family's dirty laundry, bro. Like, it's just basically saying, like, look how fucking dysfunctional our shit is. And it's like to put
but
it
10
out
years
there,
ago, you were going, Pierce Austin knows best. Isn't my family perfect?
But that's the thing, man. Like, and now, like, for Brooke Hogan to turn around, like, how old is she? Like, what? Like, I think she's 40, right? And she's sitting there going, like, I don't want nothing to do with you fucking weird fucks. Like, I don't want nothing to do with the entertainment business. Like, she's like tapped out. Like, imagine the shit that she, like, for her to sit there and go, like, I never wanted any of it.
I mean, you're born into it, right? I mean,
Off the lot.
Charlotte Flair's relationships seem to be doing well. Like if these people are the models for their kids, right? My father is a chop wood, carry water lumberjack motherfucker. My parents been together since high school. My relationships are pretty solid because of the model of how I had to make things work. If your dad's over here fucking banging out girls that look just like you, what does that say at the root level, bro? It's incestuous. It's strange. Vince and Stephanie's relationship is strange. Sit on the lap at 15 years old like you're a 3-year-old. And like there's something not right at the foundation of these people. And it really goes back to some type of sexual abuse that gets handed down generationally from Vince's abusive mom making him dress up in dresses and possibly having sex with him, and to Vince passing. What's that?
I was gonna say, didn't Vince's like stepmother like fuck him and shit?
Yeah, it made him dress up in drag, and Vince wants Stevie to wear a dress, Vito to wear a dress. He's on a closeness with Stephanie that doesn't seem like the normal father-daughter stuff. It gets passed on generationally, bro.
Like even how he, like everyone's like famously said how he pitched that storyline that she was gonna be impregnated with his kid, bro. Like dude,
isn't that the fucking therapist couch right there, bro? But instead you're doing this shit on TV. You want to do it on TV. It tells everything you need to know about when you watch that Vince McMahon docketing, and they're like, well, what's the second mind thing about? Sex. Computer brain too thinks about sex all the time in the background. That's someone who was abused, who has trauma and can't fucking let go. It's constantly in their psyche and invades all of their thoughts all the time, creatively, business wise, all that shit, bro. But we hold them on high because they're on TV every week going, I'm the authority. It's fucked. They need to be torn down and shown for the broken people they are, and they need massive amounts of years of therapy. But instead they have billions of dollars that reinforce they can do whatever the fuck they want until you're taking your ring off and you know that your life's been fucked and you have to face your own reality. And you're like, I don't know who I am. I have no foundation. And what will happen to those daughters when they go to college and they see what the model was for it, that my mom and dad kayfabed my grandfather's fucking sick perversions. So I gotta toe that line too, because my name's McMahon.
Imagine being those grandkids, man, and like just having to go through that shit. And it's like Shane McMahon's son's like going to like school or something and be like,
Declan's not smart on Instagram. Declan is a normal college kid, but he's out there posting frat party shit, like him and his boys fucking wasted. Like nobody's pulling him aside going, bro, you are fourth generation of this shit. You have to protect the legacy. Your grandfather's under a lot of scrutiny, and any fucking woke girl in college could fucking hit him with some fucking rape allegation. It could be true or not, but based on what's going on in the media, either that or else Declan's smart enough and walks around with a stack of NDAs for every chick he fucking bangs in college. Maybe he learned the lesson. But I'm saying the precedent is there to have your life ruined based on what your family's structure is. And he's a kid. I'm not trying to be like, he's stupid for doing that. He's a kid like any other kid with social media at his disposal. But that is all liability shit. And don't think that there aren't fucking nerds out there who follow the sheets and are screenshotting every one of Declan's tweets for when the ball does drop, because it's gonna, to come back and fucking have that evergreen shit when he deletes all of his social media someday. It's just the pattern of dysfunctional behavior with these billionaires, bro. And it gets handed down.
All right. Good stuff, guys. So just to get into some wrestling news here, the rumor about Britt Baker being close to leaving AEW for WWE apparently gets shut down. So for those who didn't know, Jonathan Coachman this week said, all right, so I just got this in real time. You guys know I've just been breaking news left and right. And when it's in context, I have yet to be wrong. So I just found out there's a female name out there that is close to signing with WWE, gone from AEW. My sources keep coming to your boy. She's ready. She's so ready. She's got the built-in storyline. She got buried because she pushed back. She spoke up about what was going on in wrestling, and you can't do that. So he's referring to Britt Baker. According to Fightful, Britt has not left AEW and isn't heading to WWE this time. Britt reportedly signed a 5-year deal in 2021 that would keep her under contract for at least another year, not including potential time being added due to injuries. So, Ben, who do you think is in the right here, Jonathan Coachman or Sean Ross Sapp?
Yeah, Coach is absolutely in the right as always. There's nothing that Sean Ross Sapp would ever say that I'd be like, oh, he's got it. Yeah, man. Of course she's leaving. She tried to use politics, power couple plays, got over with one fucking Tommy Dreamer hardcore match. It went right to her head because of t-shirt sales, and she thought she was untouchable after that. Meanwhile, the promos are trash. The fucking, backstage politics and thinking you're owed is fucking garbage. She fabbed her duties as a dentist, got heat from that, you're on the road. They want you there for scheduling, but you're addicted to the spotlight now, right? So I'm going to take 3 months off. Well, what the fuck are we supposed to do with it? All these bookings. So now you got heat with that. You can't spread yourself too thin when it comes to this. And then tried to get back into Tony's good graces, probably by flirting and getting those fucking meetings. And I'm riding on the private jet with T, everybody. We'll do a couple social media posts. And then your creative isn't there and you get pissed and you know that you're losing your new toy status with fucking TK and you're ready to jump ship and go flirt with Sean. And hey, remember I was with one of your favorite guys? Like that could be hurting her worse than anything if Adam Cole is still over with Triple H and Sean, and after he politicked his way into the good graces to get pushes that he never really should have had based on his size and non-believability. I'm a nice guy, but who believes in any fucking shoot fight Adam Cole's going to tune somebody up that isn't 125 pounds or less? Nobody. And now she doesn't have that. So it's going to be tough.
Was he anyway? Sorry.
What's her what?
I said, and what sort of fucking heel was he anyway? Like that he comes out and does like that and goes and he gets the whole crowd chanting with him.
Yeah. If you just to do this is what got you over. You should. That's NXT 101 from the fucking Randy Orton factory. I'm going to come in, do my arm thing. Everybody do my arm thing. Everybody do my catchphrase. Then the bell rings. And then what? That's nothing more than MK Ultra operant conditioning of your audience. Straight up the psychology of how to get over in your entrance. But Randy looks like $1 million, knows how to work, as opposed to having to get his shit in and shit that means nothing from the ROH goofs that fucking don't know how to put a match together, So now without that power couple stuff, that could hurt her in contract more of how much they're going to offer money wise to jump ship and and who she's got to cozy up to, because she's got experience now, but is anybody clamoring for Britt Baker in WWE? What's she going to do? Come in and take somebody's spot that already was going to get released, like Rosie Perez or fucking Alba Fire? Like any of these girls mean anything? It's just, we're just waiting 6 months until the fucking next level of cuts, and they're off trying to get indie bookings versus Tegan Knox, who's bitching about the fact that she can't get fucking booked. Yeah, well, that's because you never knew how to develop a character. You never got over on your own in NXT. It was all a false positive. And now when you're out there thinking that you have the WWE stamp on you, that indie promoters are going to come flocking to you because we need you. And that's delusion, as opposed to being a worker going, okay, that was my time in that wrestling. I'm still a wrestler. I'm going to go over here and do business. Who do they got on the roster? Okay, I see this girl, and she's the champ. So I'm going to come up with a way to do a program where I come up and do 6 indie dates, get myself booked, and we'll do business. That's what Fandango did for Immortal and Dynasty and other places. And now he's back on Impact. He's just an A+ wrestler and treats the business how it should be treated, and he knows who he is. These other girls don't, bro. Like they're not real workers. They're just models that got hired, got trained in a factory system, and have no idea how to get themselves over, how to do business, how to get bookings, how to reinvent themselves. They just think because I was in NXT, I'm owed all these fucking indie opportunities. And that shows to me that you're not a real worker or understand how to do business for the people who are in those indies to elevate them, get them over, get them matches. And then after that program's done, you move on to the next one and run the whole thing again with 2 or 3 more new girls. And you just got yourself booked for 6 months straight. But you know, that's kids. That's kids being kids in this business. I don't care if you're a doctor, dentist, or whatever the fuck, but almost all those NXT releases and kids that get released who got pushed to the main roster, the Whoop Whoops, fucking Caden Carter and all them, they have no idea how to get themselves. Yeah, they have no idea how to get themselves over, bro. Because they were given everything and they were given a false positive of they won the tag belts night 1. They must be the best, new, hottest thing. When that's just a fucking shit for the marks to go, they put the belts on them, they must be good. And then the fucking bell rings and we see otherwise. And they don't know how to do business after.
I'm just waiting for the OnlyFans for her, man.
Yeah, and then that's what it comes down to. You acted like you were over as a superstar. You found out that it actually takes work afterwards to understand this shit. That's too hard to do. So show your pussy and make money.
Yeah, exactly. Just get your tits out for the boys.
Yeah, that's it, bro. Like that's now we've gotten to the root level of why Johnny Ace hired you. And why you were actually in this fucking business to start with was to be a piece of ass on the road for the boys. And then if you realize that, you would get your hooks into a top guy and marry him, have a kid. So when it all fucking falls down for you, or your top guy husband can keep you relevant. Like that's the unspoken dark side of this shit, where their relationships are based on my want to be in power, or my want to be the top person, and not that I'm marrying somebody I care about or I'm with somebody. It's a carny, unspoken agreement of you're going to give me a piece of ass, even though you come with all the extra baggage, and you're using me to stay relevant because girls in this business were hired for nothing more than to be a piece of road ass for the boys. And some of them do get their hooks in, have a kid, and fucking on they go. One sister does that. The other one fucking pimps out a relationship to get proposed to in the ring by the top guy. That goes to shit. She spins out off of her fucking celebrity, does a rebound hookup, and has a kid with a guy who's a piece of shit that she doesn't know. And now it costs her $200,000 a year. Welcome to the reality of it. Nobody wants to call that shit out. Nobody wants to just say, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have made a life with somebody that I didn't know or trust, thinking I was going to hold on to my celebrity because of that. And we'll get our kid on the cover of People magazine. Now you're crying the fucking blues because your bank account just got decimated by 80%. To a guy who's probably a fuckhead.
Well, last wrestling news story I've got here. Speculation about The Undertaker being interested.
It just goes on. I mean, you can name the names. I'm not trying to say these girls are, you're a piece of shit. Like, it's the unspoken agreement of, you know, I'm with them, gave them some ass, and that's it. Because they don't want, the reality is, the other root level, they don't want wrestlers out in the town trying to bang locals who are then going to put a rape charge against them and fucking do it. So what do? You import hot girls, give them half-ass training, make them believe they're actually superstars who understand and like this shit. But the whole purpose of you being there is to be a piece of road pussy for the
Dang,
boys.
that's crazy.
And nobody wants to say that.
Happy International Women's Day, everyone.
Yeah. Happy Tuesday.
There's so many layers to this, man. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And nobody will admit that. That's all unspoken. And what we just laid out 5 examples of it from top people. You think it doesn't go on all the way up and down the chain?
It was allegedly with Britt Baker and Christian, right? That was allegedly going on as well. So
there's allegedly possibly with TK.
Baby, cuckold, baby.
Yeah, dude. That is the epitome of the Florida bubble. of being in the Florida fucking bubble, bro. And they all know what I'm saying. They all feel it inside them. They're all doing that, but no one will ever call that out, bro. I came here because of Total Divas. That's what hooked me on WWE. Okay. Do you know who King Kong Bundy is? No? Do you know who Paul Orndorff is? No, I never heard of him. Who's that? Okay, you're going to do great here.
I did see Sable versus Jackie, though.
Yeah. I mean, there's some women who have, and that's the thing. You mix in women who are credible and legitimate, who are the stars, because you do need some, and then the other 70% think that they're fucking going to achieve that, when the reality is the people on top and the top boys know exactly what those girls are there for.
Fucking wild shit, bro. Fucking wild shit, bro.
Welcome to the entertainment biz, Briz. It's the same as any fucking actress sleeping with a director or producer to do that shit. And then in this day and age, with Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby, they have plenty of beef to go, well, they did this to me, they did that. Those women knew exactly what they were doing, using fucking cleavage or whatever it is, fucking casting couch blowjobs to get what they want. They're putting themselves in the role to be victimized, but they're not babes in the woods. They know exactly who's more conniving, women or men.
Well, women are more manipulative. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna have to head soon, so
That's all good, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll wrap it up. We're 90 minutes in. Thank you so much for fucking starting early today without me and filling in, man. So the hot tag, dude.
Nah, man, all good, man. Sorry, I got to run. I got an early start in the morning, but
all right. Well, I want to tell you the story, so we'll sign off quick if you got a second. It'll turn your stomach for the rest of the day. Matt, you got anything that have them suck your balls or what?
Yeah, shout out to Revamped Wrestling. This last Tuesday on our live, he was the first person ever to make a super sticker donation on SMB, a South Park review.
Awesome.
They're monetized now, so shout out to Revamped Wrestling. Nothing else. The only other one I had was a story about the Undertaker joining creative just from keeping it 100, but that's fine. I mean, Conan thinks he's going to be a good addition to the creative team if Undertaker would join. But nothing else. I've got nothing else. Check out SMB, a South Park review on all podcast outlets.
Yeah, I'd give him the Wyatt Six book and just let him go. Give him one segment of show and he does what he wants. You know what I mean? But,
all right. Well, that's all I've got for you today. Ben, anything else you want to put over?
no, I'm off today, man. I got plenty of work to do here around the missile silo. So thank you guys again for filling in. It was a long day at Ravens Joint yesterday. A great day at Ravens Joint yesterday. It's going to be hot. It went from 60 and rainy. It's supposed to be 100 degrees next week. So we'll be sweating our asses off here in the missile silo. But hopefully you guys have a good weekend. And yeah, plenty of hot takes, hot shoots. And like I said, you feel yourself falling for any of that bullshit propaganda, put a pin in it and turn it 180 because they're just getting into your head and you're better than that. And get me some head too while you're at it, Deuce. Here on the Friday Locker Room Infidels, Piers Austin, MSG, Hacker Hamid. Y'all.